Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. So, huge visitor on campus for LSU football this weekend. I think this is a big deal. Five-star 2025 quarterback Bryce Underwood from Michigan is on campus this weekend. And I think that's important because it's an unofficial visit. He has paid his way down to Baton Rouge from Michigan. And it's the second visit he's made to LSU in the last 3 months from Michigan. This is not only the number one quarterback in the country for 2025, which means he will start his junior year in 2 months. Not only the number one quarterback, the number one player in the class of 2025 right now. And Joe Sloan has made this a significant priority, and it appears that that interest is being reciprocated. You tell me. Michigan's not real close to here. And he's been twice in 3 months, and it's not an official visit. So this is a big deal for LSU. Now, the nature of quarterback recruiting we know has changed. You're going to have transfers every single year, and most schools are going to be involved in that market. You're going to sign quarterbacks most every year, and sometimes they'll never play a snap for you. They're there for a year, and they're gone. Walker Howard, recruit. You get the commitment. Oh, what a huge deal. He shows up. He's running the scout team. All of a sudden, he's gone. So I'm not going to say that Bryce Underwood's about to commit to LSU and change the entire program and win 2 Heisman trophies. But what I'm telling you is LSU is getting involved with very high-profile out-of-state quarterbacks, and they're having success in doing so. Colin Hurley from over in Florida has committed. He's been a big champion for this recruiting class. He's reclassified. He will be a 2024 player, and Bryce Underwood would be the next year. And while it's always going to be a possibility for a school as high profile as LSU to dip into the transfer portal and get impact quarterbacks like Jaden Daniels, like Joe Burrow, you want to keep that pipeline full. Quarterback, in my opinion, at this point, is a numbers game. You accumulate as many good ones as you can. You understand that some of them will not pan out. Some of them will transfer out, but some of them will hit. And so I don't always want to have to rely on Boston College, Cal, and Oklahoma State for my quarterbacks. I have that option. I don't want to rely on it all the time. But I'd also like to bring in high schoolers because there is value in coming to a place out of high school, learning that system, learning the players around you, and spending a year or two in the system before you play. Now, it's not always going to work out because guys transfer. Like, I get the whole situation here, but I'm just saying it's a numbers game. And the more you can get in the pipeline, the better. And when I hear five-star quarterback from Michigan visits, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit. When I read five-star number one player in the nation from Michigan has come to LSU on his own dime twice in 3 months, that changes the conversation entirely. That means this is someone who is very seriously considering playing football at LSU. And I've watched the tape on Bryce Underwood. He's young. He's only a sophomore in this tape, but the arm strength is very good. He's got great speed. He is a dual threat quarterback who has put up awesome numbers in his home state of Michigan. There's footage of him playing in the Lions Stadium in a state championship. He's been fantastic in his first couple of years. As a freshman, he threw for almost 3,000 yards and 39 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions. He also ran for 6 touchdowns. Then in his sophomore year, they went 14-0. He threw for 2,700 yards, 37 touchdowns. So you got a guy who's incredibly productive, incredibly athletic, and a very high-profile recruit. And he's obviously very interested in LSU. If LSU could somehow get Underwood in the boat for the 2025 class, that is a momentum shifter. We've seen Colin Hurley be very vocal and very outspoken and very much involved in LSU filling out the class around him. Quarterbacks are generally that way. They've just got that way about him more often than not. He didn't end up playing quarterback at LSU, but Russell Shepard was very much a champion when he committed early, and he was going in for official visit weekends and hosting other recruits and basically selling LSU as, hey, come play with me. And when you get the number one player in the nation in your class, if LSU could find a way to do that, all of a sudden you get a lot more attention. Wouldn't top flight wide receivers like to know that that guy would be in their class? Wouldn't top flight running backs like to know that guy's going to be in their class? From that perspective, you're talking about, production on the offensive end, but from the defensive side, you want to come and win games behind the number one quarterback in the country. I'm connecting dots down the line here, but that's the reality of the situation. We've seen this play out before. So I think it's massive for LSU to have Bryce Underwood on campus. He's going to be here, according to the guys over at On3. Shea Dixon's been all over this. Going to be here until Sunday. Going to take a look at everything once again, and it feels like everything's moving in the right direction. I'm not going to try to sit here and tell you that I'm some sort of recruiting analyst or expert. I'm far from it. That's why we get Shea on. That's why we get Billy on. That's their corner of the store. But this is pretty easy to understand. Number one player in the country keeps flying across the country to come see you. That probably means he's interested, and I feel very, very good about that. So it's been a really, really good run in recruiting for Brian Kelly and this staff. The question that so many had, not does Brian Kelly know football, not can Brian Kelly win games, it was, does Brian Kelly know how to recruit in Louisiana? And we know that he's tried to put a wall up around Louisiana, and it looks like he's going to potentially get the top 10 players in the state in this class. But he doesn't lose that national recruiting ability that he used for better than a decade at Notre Dame, where he was flying all over the place trying to recruit anybody he could find that could get into Notre Dame and play football at a high level. Now, you don't have to do that for everybody. You've got to take your top 15, 18 guys from the state, 14 guys from the state, 9 guys from the state, however many are good enough that year, and then you can cast that net a little wider to supplement the roster. And certainly going to Michigan to get the best player in the country would qualify as that. So big visit for LSU. Bryce Underwood. We'll get with Shea and Billy next week and see what the fallout from this big-time visit is. But it feels good for LSU to have that kind of recruit on campus. So, hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button. Leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.